watching Friday Night Lights, sponsored by Jack in the Box.
The second season begins for the last Yuma area team still left standing. Thank you for joining us for our playoff edition of Friday Night Lights. I'm Rob Fram. We got Brandon Mejia live. He's going to join us shortly, but since the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks prevailed through their early season gauntlet, they've rolled through the rest of the condensed regular season, finishing with an unbeaten record of 7-0. Now the Rocks have the top seed of the 3A playoffs locked up, just 4 wins away from the program's 4th state title. So we present you the early game highlights of the Rocks' 3A play-in matchup as they play host tonight to Bourgade Catholic, a team that Rhett Stallworth is unbeaten against. Would that hold up and take you out to Ricky Quinn Stadium as this young YC squad looking for a strong start to their playoff campaign? First possession of the night. Richard Stallworth pitches a rock to Zach Castaneda, gashing the defense for 15 yards. YC knocking on the door early. The door would open. Devin Black gets the call and powers his way into the end zone. The Rocks starting things off with the running game, 7-0 YC. Then on the ensuing kickoff by Saul Martinez. After the bobble by the kick returner, he's going to get corralled. And then check this out. Oh, upended by Desmond Esquizel. The Rocks making a nice statement by the play of their special teams, so the defense will top that. Golden Eagles quarterback gets picked off by Mario Martinez, who returns the interception back 15 yards. Rocks back in business, working with a shorter field. He had 3 picks on the night. They would take advantage. Stallworth rockets this ball to the far side to wide receiver Austin Priest for the 35-yard touchdown connection. Rocks would miss the extra point, 13-0 YC. The defense would continue to play solid. Off the Bourgade out route, Mario Martinez again making his presence known. He can play on both sides of the ball. We fast forward to the second quarter. Off the pass, flat in the flat, Austin Johnson decleats the receiver, causing the fumble, and Austin Rush picks it up and is off to the races. But the refs called the touchdown back. Calling Johnson for a helmet-to-helmet penalty, the play goes back. Next YC possession, the Rocks go back to the ground attack. Black bursts into the heart of the defense and gets a nice 15-yard gain before getting out of bounds. Later in the drive, Stallworth gets plenty of protection in the pocket, fires a seam over to Rush, who gets YC into Bourgade's red zone. Then the payoff play. Stallworth takes it himself for the quarterback keeper, giving the Rocks their 3rd touchdown of the night. And they're going to go for 2. Very next play, Stallworth finds Rush on the flat. He was certainly the most reliable receiver in the first half. The 2-point conversion gives the Rocks a 21-0 halftime lead. YC would finish them off in the second half, rolling past Bourgade, 49-0. Now YC moves on to the quarterfinal round with 1 more home game slated for Black Friday. Joining us for a recap of tonight's contest is my co-anchor Brandon Mejia, who has more from Ricky Quinn Stadium. Brando, what's your take on tonight's clash?
Well, Rob, quite the game tonight. The 49-0 win going to Yuma Catholic, but a different tempo of game that we saw tonight. The rushing game really coming alive early on. We saw a slow pace at the beginning, a 13-0 lead at the first quarter, 21-0 at the half, and then Yuma Catholic coming out and deciding to onside kick it in their favor. They would get that ball back, and they would take control of the game from there, really controlling the pace, controlling the tempo, and taking the win 49-0. The defensive side of things, 3 interceptions, from Mario Martinez, a fumble recovery. There was the onside kick. To talk more about that, we're joined by head coach Rhett Stallworth. Rhett, first off, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
I want to talk about this run game. It was something I believe you talked to Rob about early on. You were able to implement it today. How big of a difference was that tonight?
Well, it helped calm things down, helped get us back on track, get our kids refocused. We throw the ball most of the time, but we also have a pretty good run game. We just been keeping it in our back pocket until we needed it, and we had to pull it out a little bit tonight.
I like it. I like the strategy as well. Defensive side of things, what was the decision behind the onside kick? Was that your call? Was that the coaches all together? Who made that decision there?
I call all that stuff. We just felt that the way they were lining up, it was going to be there, and we thought it'd be a good way to start the second half off, get the kids fired back up, and it worked, and we had some momentum from there, and I think we scored within like 2 plays.
And we did still see the passing game successful. Richard Stallworth with 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, I believe, as well. You were able to mix it up. Moving forward, it's a little uncertain in these playoff times with everything going on. How do you move forward, and what are you telling the team as you take each game at a time?
Well, we'll just watch the film, find out, look at our mistakes, and we'll rectify those mistakes during the week. And of course, we'll be watching film on Thatcher, that's who we're going to draw next, and we're going to focus on Thatcher and just take it one game at a time. And we won't look ahead to the next opponent until we take care of the one we're playing.
Absolutely. What's the conversation amongst the players? I'm sure they're excited for you. You're familiar with this playoff territory. You've been here before, but a lot of these players on the team may not. What is the message to them?
The message really is just take it one day at a time, stay focused, don't stop and try to smell the roses right now. We've come too far, and at this point you're 3 games away from a state title, and if you can't see it and smell it and taste it, then there's something wrong with you and you're on the wrong team.
There we go. Well, we will be back here Friday then for that next playoff game. Congrats again, Coach. An outstanding win, 49-0, your final. Rob, we're going to send things back to you, but really looking forward to next week in this playoff matchup, and we'll have to see where things go there. Rob, back to you.
Thank you very much. We'll check in with you after the break. YC again looking outstanding tonight. Their defense and offense clicking on all cylinders, and you can't leave out the special teams either. All right, coming up, we're going to wrap up tonight's program with your helmet props and your Jack in the Box play of the week right after this.